about, which she says is based on you, this insane man, this pseudo-intellectual hero to the incel community. Incel being these weirdo loner men who are...
I'm pretty sure the problem is Amy needs a new keyboard. My keyboard's ow. My keyboard's slow. I know you're joking, but like obviously it's like the keyboard's fine. Ugh, this guy.
Despicable in many ways. Is that you? Are you the intellectual hero to these people?
Sure. Why not? You know, people have been after me for a long time because I've been speaking to disaffected young men. You know, what a terrible thing to do that is.
Oh my god, what a fucking pussy. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. White men tears. White men tears. Oh, they're way worse. Conservative white man tears. Oh god. Best tasty.
I thought the marginalized were supposed to have a voice.
It's making you emotional. Talk about that.
Well, go on.
He thinks that disaffected white boys are oppressed? Why does he look like he's made of bronze? Camera makeup. I don't think that he can like keep it together. I think that he is just overly emotional and he doesn't know how to like handle himself. The problem isn't that he's speaking to troubled young men, it's that he is lurking them into corrupted grips, making them worse. Yes, because he's not being honest about what is really affecting young men who are experiencing hardship. It is capitalism. It is that they are still affected by the white supremacist patriarchy. They are still forced to compete with their peers in a way that is incredibly unhealthy. There is no sense of community. There is only toxic masculinity that is driving so many young boys to mistreat women, mistreat colleagues, mistreat themselves, to live up to some fake ass expectation that is painted by the white supremacist patriarchy and those who uphold it. And so whenever we see like the dichotomy of societal norms determining winners and losers, and if you cannot identify things that are happening in your life that make you think that you are a winner, then you might feel as though you are, you know, disadvantaged. Or that somehow you are oppressed. And that's not true. You are supposed to be experiencing undue privilege, and whenever you cannot compete in a very competitive dog-eat-dog world, so to speak, then you need to find some way to punch down, to blame somebody else for your failures. And Jordan Peterson gives you the tools, the rhetoric, the words to describe why it is everyone else's fault but yours, or the systems that are playing a very crucial role in determining who has what. And unfortunately, not even all cishet white men are going to be the winners. Some of them are going to be losers too. And this is how they are dealing with that reality. Because he made them think it is not their fault. It is somebody beneath you on the socioeconomic hierarchy that we are all on in one way or another.
You know, it's very difficult to understand how demoralized people are. And certainly many young men are in that category. And you get these casual insults, these incels. What does it mean? It's like, well, these men, they don't know how to make themselves attractive to women who are very picky, and good for them. Women, like, be picky. That's your gift, man. Demand high standards from your men. Fair enough. But all these men who are alienated, it's like they're lonesome and they don't know what to do, and everyone piles abuse on them.
When she said that, Olivia Wilde, it stung you, didn't it? I saw the
reaction. By
that
that time, you know, that as far as critiques go, that was kind of low level. I mean, once I got painted as Red Skull, you know, magical super Nazi, that was kind of the end of the insults. there's no place past that. So when Olivia Wilde made those comments, the first thing I did was go look at the preview for a movie, which I quite liked. I thought I would go see that movie probably, and perhaps I will. It didn't really bother me. My family and I talked about it right away, and we were able to respond.
His daughter dated Andrew Tate. Did he show this kind of compassion to that swimsuit model? No. Sports Illustrated swimsuit model? No, absolutely not. He said that, the authoritarian nature of acceptance that swimsuit model and Sports Illustrated was thwarting onto him was somehow a step too far. Somehow a step too far. They're victimized alpha males. It's ridiculous. This pathetic little bitch, he's like a fucking insect to me. I have very little compassion for anyone who literally believes that. And you know what? Unfortunately, I think there are plenty of men who have this same fucking mindset. They think that they are owed the world. They think that they are owed the fucking world. And whenever they don't get everything that they want, they lash out in horrific, toxic, and violent ways. And they think that they can because they think that they literally deserve whatever it is that they are after. Whatever they pursue, it should be theirs. And that is not a healthy way of thinking, of viewing the world. And there's, in some cases, seemingly no bounds to the actions that these men will take. And when you have Jordan Peterson, like, kind of showing this incredibly emotional feminine side of the throes of toxic masculinity going wrong in a world that is demanding that we hold ourselves to a little higher standards, like, already the fucking floor and the ceiling is about an inch a fucking part. All right? Low bar of what we are demanding from men who carry themselves in a way that can be to the detriment of everyone else. If there is a semblance of toxicity or a lack of vision or something that is standing in the way of a man's pursuit that they believe is theirs. Think about like fucking Charlie Kirk, who was like, I was supposed to get into military school, but affirmative action made it so my spot was given to a black girl. Like, people literally, like, these people say these things. They believe it. I hate this. They're all pseudo intellectuals, I think. The men most concerned with what is or isn't manly are always babies. Yes. And also, like, think about how Jordan Peterson was just so taken aback by the fact that he got massive flack on the internet for saying what he said about that Sports Illustrated model. Rightfully so. He should not be able to just say whatever the fuck he wants. That is incredibly harmful. That is incredibly vitriolic. That is incredibly dangerous. It is leaning into the worst tendencies on the internet to unabashedly mock or disparage something that you don't like. And when that something that you don't like is as a actual person who is representing a marginalized group, a minority group, a disenfranchised group, then you deserve to get dogpiled on. And fuck you for thinking that you didn't, as far as I'm concerned. They met their small face quote. I will always stand the fuck up against people like this. I don't care how much of a fucking cunt I look in the fucking process. There is nothing that will ever get me to shut the fuck up when it comes to me speaking my fucking piece to people like him. Sorry, can't do it. I simply cannot shut the fuck up. I simply cannot do it. I cannot do it. I've actually never tried, but something tells me that I would have a hard time. Lumiru was talking about cry shaming today and how it's toxic masculinity. I feel like I can shame JP for crying though. It's manipulative. She's made it seem like all cry shaming is wrong though. No, this is like white women tears. You know how people say white women tears are incredibly dangerous because they are used to weaponize the femininity of women in a way that usually has racist implications. If you think about like the Karens who end up calling the cops on black men, like in Central Park or whatever. Oh, sorry, I read that. Sorry for reading that. Like, white women tears do have incredibly dangerous implications too, and it's way worse whenever a white man does it. I think JP's crying is real. His worldview is just that fucked. It's again, it's not something that anyone should spend too much time analyzing, because I think it goes back to men engaging in incredibly heinous, violent, ill-conceived notions, actions, behaviors, because they're not getting what they want. Like, I think it comes down to, like, men thinking that they deserve the world, and whenever they don't get it, they lash out in a multitude of ways, sometimes obscure, sometimes hateful, sometimes violent, sometimes they kill people, sometimes they go onto Piers Morgan and cry like a little bitch. It all stems from the same core value that these men hold. They think they are entitled to whatever they want. And whenever there is a disruption in what they think that they deserve and the reality of what they get, that leads to, like, you know, some incredibly elusive behaviors, obscure behaviors, and it can be unpredictable, it can be very scary, it can be very deceitful, but this is a real threat for a lot of people who've experienced this rage. Because that impulse that a lot of these men act on, it leads to mass shootings, it leads to rape, it leads to hate crimes, it leads to indoctrinating your children in a really toxic, fucked up way. There are real world implications. I don't know if I want to finish this. I can't stand him. Social housing works. Austria